Good day everyone. We are Group 5. Today we will be discussing the types of tests and task in usability. I am Alia Liborawet and together with me are my group mates Katle, Kauyan, Dimailig, Manrique, and Masadare. So for the presentation content, first we have the pilot test. So the purpose and the process. Next is 4 types of user tests, which are the scripted use, decontextualized use, natural use, and hybrid tests. Next is types of tasks, direct versus scenario tasks, and open-ended versus closed tasks. And then lastly is when to use each type. So the purpose of pilot testing, so to test your test, a pilot test is a trial run of the actual usability test to ensure everything works as planned. So dito is nakakatulong siya para ma-confirm na lahat ng part ng test is nagpa-function siya properly before the evaluation. And then next is identify problems early. It helps uncover issues such as technical errors, human mistakes, unclear instructions, or unexpected situations. So dito, yung mga team is hinahanapan agad nila ng mga issues ahead of time. So dito, naka-include yung mga technical errors, human mistakes, unclear instructions, or yung mga unexpected situations. And then, hinahanap agad nila ng maaga para ma-prevent yung mga problems during the actual test. And then next is improve reliability. So by fixing problems before the real test, so you make the actual usability testing more scientific, precise, and dependable. So dito naman is by discovering and fixing issues before the real test, so yung mga team is ina-ensure niya na yung final usability test is more accurate and dependable para yung testing process is more scientific and trustworthy. And then last is increased confidence. So running pilot tests allows you to understand the process clearly and eliminate any kinks before collecting real data. So yung pagko-conduct ng pilot test is nakakatulong siya sa mga researchers and testers para ma-feel nila na they feel more prepared. So it gives them a clear understanding of the whole process and para ma-remove yung any confusions or uncertainties before collecting real data.
So, process of pilot testing, meron tayo ditong 5 process, which is yung una is conduct the test exactly like a real one. You follow the same steps, tasks, and procedures as in the actual usability testing. So, itong pilot testing natin is kailangan mo siyang i-test like a real one. Siyempre, para matest mo na, kailangan mo siyang, kailangan mo mag-conduct ng test as a real one. Parang, usability testing lang din yung gagawin mo, ganun. Pero ano lang to ha, pilot testing pa lang. Hindi pa talaga ito yung pagko-collect ng data. So itong second part naman is collect data but don't analyze it. Data from the pilot test is not included in the actual findings. It only helps you check if your testing process works properly. Ayun nga, nasabi ko kanina, yung sa first part is magkoconduct ka ng test para makapag-collect ng data, di ba? And yung collected data mo doon is para lang matest yung process mo kung nagana ba talaga. Ganun. So, hindi ka talaga kukuha ng ano doon, ng, hindi mo talaga i-analyze yung mga nakuha mong data dito sa pilot testing. Tapos sa process, naman, 3, observe what goes wrong. Watch for technical issues, unclear instructions, timing problems, or anything that could affect the real test. So ayun, while conducting our pilot testing, i-observe natin kung ano yung possible na maling mangyari ganun. Tapos doon natin siya mismong aayusin kumbaga para malaman natin habang tinetest natin tong itong usability testing natin is malist out din natin yung mga uncleared uncleared instruction, timing problems na pwedeng ma-affect dun sa natin, sa real test natin. So sa fourth, make adjustment. After the pilot test, refine the test setup, instructions, tools, or procedures until everything works smoothly. So, katulad nitong observe what goes wrong, dito mo gagawin yung mga adjustments, dito mo ayusin yung mga mga pagkakamali mo, ganun. Tapos dito mo na din i-adjust yung mga mga setups mo, tapos yung mga tools mo, ganun. Tapos last, repeat if needed. Run another pilot test if problems persist to ensure everything is ready for the actual usability test. So ayun, after mo mag-make adjustment, repeat ka lang ulit para ma-ensure mo na goods talaga yung gagawin mong usability testing. Ganun. Parang i-iterate mo lang ng i-iterate itong process na to. As long hanggang maging ready na yung actual usability test niya. Ganun. Tapos next page, types of user test. So meron tayo ditong four types of user test. So yung first type is scripted use of the product. This test focused on specific usage aspects. The degree of scripting varies with more scripting, generating more controlled data. So dito sa scripted use of product, ano lang to, parang kinukuha mo lang yung itinatanong, ay hindi, kinukuha mo lang yung data na gusto mong makuha, parang ganun. Kaya nasabi dito is controlled data kasi nga scripted siya eh. So parang gusto mong ipalabas dun sa mga sa testing na to is yung gusto mong makuhang data, ganun. Tapos dito sa decontextualized use of the product, tests that don't use the product, at least in the actual testing phase, are designed for broader topics like QX or generating ideas. So ito namang second type is lang siya, user test lang siya para lang makapag-generate na ng ideas for UX, ganun. Tapos dito naman sa third type, natural and near natural use of the product. This test seeks to analyze common usage, behavior, and trends with the product, doing well with data authenticity and the cost of control. Tapos itong test na to, dito yung parang ina-analyze yung common usage or behaviors ng mga users, ganun. Tapos dito sa last types, which is yung hybrid tests are creative and non-traditional tests geared towards understanding the user mentally. These tests vary in what they can accomplish. Tapos dito naman sa hybrid, more on, understanding the user. Tapos, nasabi tong hybrid kasi, pag aanhin dito yung creativity mo, tsaka yung non-traditional test, ganun, kumbaga.
So now, let's discuss when to use each type of user test. First, the scripted use of the product. You can use it when you need a highly controlled or precise data. So, we can use it when we want everyone to follow the exact same steps, and this can help us collect cleaner and more consistent data. And also when testing specific features or workflows, like checking if a button works or verifying a payment process. So, scripted tasks can help us focus on one feature at a time. And by guiding users step by step, we can easily detect if a specific function is working correctly. And also, when the goal is to measure tasks, success rate, errors, or time. So scripting allows us to collect measurable data, such as how fast users complete a task, how many errors they make, or whether they succeed. And also, during pilot testing, to confirm that each step runs smoothly. So before the actual usability test, we script the actions to ensure everything works as planned. And this help us catch issues early and avoid problems during the real session. And scripted use of product is best for feature validation, to confirm that each feature performs exactly as expected, and also for bug detection. By giving users the same steps, we can easily spot where bugs appear and reproduce issues consistently. and also for performance measurements. Scripting helps us gather measurable results like speed or accuracy, which are important for evaluating performance. And also step-by-step testing. This method is ideal when we need participants to follow a clear sequence of actions so we can analyze their behavior at each step. And next is the decontextualized use of the product. So when to use it? First, when you're exploring high-level UX concepts rather than specific interactions. So in this case, we focus on big picture insights instead of testing how users click or navigate. We want to understand their overall expectations, feelings, and mental models. And also, when users don't need to touch the product in the pilot phase, like for example, interviews, card sorting, concept reviews. And this method works when participants don't have to use the actual product and we can gather insights through interviews, sorting activities, or reviewing design concepts without making them perform tasks. Also, when you're generating ideas, expectations, preferences, or early design feedback. So here, we use the contextualized testing to collect raw ideas and early impressions. So it helps us understand what users want, what they prefer, and what they expect before we even build the full product. So next is useful in early pilot testing to refine research question and task design. So at this stage, we use it to sharpen our research plan. It helps us decide what questions to ask and what tasks to include before moving into hands-on testing. And the contextualized use of product is best for ideation. So this method supports for brainstorming and exploring new possibilities since users are not limited by the current design. And also for early usability research. It's helpful in the early stages of a project when we want to understand user needs before finalizing features. And also for conceptual testing because we can use it when we want users to react to ideas or models rather than a working product. And lastly, for information architecture studies. So here, this is ideal for understanding how users naturally categorize name or group information without interface distractions.
So, when to use each type of user test. So, una po is natural or near natural use of the product. So, ginagamit to if our main goal is to observe yung natural behavior ng user. So, if you want to see kung paano ba talaga ginagamit ng user yung app or product sa realistic or every setting without us guiding them, then ginagamit po to during the later stages. So, dito makikita yung habits, patterns, and kung saan sila usually nagsistuck. Ideal siya for assessing the overall user experience and not just the specific features. So, best for usage patterns, discovering real issues, understanding workflow behavior, and holistic UX evaluation. So, for hybrid testing naman po, ginagamit siya usually kapag medyo broad or unique yung research goal ng group. So, yung hybrid testing, nag-allow siya to get um, the best of both. So, uh, if gusto natin ng mix ng control data and real behavior or natural task. So, useful siya if gusto natin mag-study not just what the users are doing, pero kung ano rin or kung paano rin nila 'to ginagawa. So, kasama na dito yung mindset, motivations, and decision-making nila. So, it is perfect for complex studies kasi nako-cover niya both technical issues and behavioral insights through structured and exploratory data.
And for this part ng presentation, so pag i-discuss ko ngayon yung iba't ibang types of tasks na ginagamit sa usability testing or user research. So for the types of tasks, meron tayong main types. So ito ang direct task, scenario task, closed task, and open-ended task. So yung una, yung direct task, ito yung mga straightforward na instructions. Ito yung parang step-by-step na procedures. So halimbawa, ibibigay mo sa user ay yung find a turkey recipe. So dito, very specific ang action. Mabilis siyang gawin. Pero minsan, medyo technical at unnatural ito para sa mga users. Lalong-lalo na if hindi sila like gumagamit ng mga certain types of system. Ganun. And for the scenario task, so ito yung mas real life yung dating. So halimbawa, halimbawa nito, you're attending a reunion and need an outfit. So ito, sa mga scenario tasks, mas engaging siya sa mga users kasi parang pinaparamdam mo sa kanila na parang nasa real situation sila. Tapos hindi nila masyadong nararamdaman na tinetest mo sila. Ayun. And for the close task naman, ito yung may tamang sagot. Ito may right or wrong outcome. So ito ay very useful kapag kailangan mo i-measure yung success rate, completion time or accuracy sa mga task. Yun. So parang ano lang siya, may finish line sa sa testing, gano'n. And for the open-ended task naman, so ito yung mga task na walang isang way to complete. So halimbawa, perfect ito kung gusto mo makita yung natural behavior ng users, kung paano nila ginagamit yung system, kung paano sila magde-decide, mag-explore, at pag-navigate dun sa loob ng tinetest na system. And ang sunod naman ay ang when to use each type. So, i-explain ko ngayon kung kailan natin pwede gamitin yung sa direct task. So, ginagamit ang direct task kapag pilot testing na. So, ito yung stage kung saan chine-check natin kung clear ba yung instructions at kung gumagana ba yung features. Gumagana ba yung features bago yung actual test. So, kailan ba natin siya gagamitin? So, kapag kailangan mong i-check yung kung clear at easy to follow instructions ng system, kapag gusto mong i-verify na specific steps or features like search bar or navigation ay gumagana. And kapag tinetest mo yung technical accuracy din, tinitingnan din ito kung tama ba yung path na dinadaanan ng user. At kapag gusto mo din na siguraduhin na maintindihan ng users ang real requirement ng task. Ayun. So, best na ginagamit ang direct task for confirming clarity of instructions, testing functionality, and identifying confusing steps. In short, yung direct test ay perfect para maayos muna natin ang technical side bago i-introduce ang mga mas complex or real-life na scenario sa usability testing.
Scenario tasks are designed to simulate realistic situations that users may encounter when interacting with the system. These tasks are not isolated instructions. Instead, they guide the user through a full and natural experience, similar to what they would do in real life. When do we use scenario tasks in pilot testing? Scenario tasks are used when we want to ensure that the scenario feel realistic and relatable to the participants. This helps us confirm the story or situation makes sense to the users. Second, we need to check if the scenario keeps user immersed.
so they feel like they are performing real tasks rather than just answer a test. This helps us remove unnatural or forced instructions. Third, we want to test the flow and pacing of the full user journey. Scenario tasks allow us to observe how users move from one step to another as naturally as possible. Fourth, we are preparing for studies that focus on the overall user experience rather than isolated or specific tasks. This is helpful for understanding how the system performs from the start to finish. Now, what are scenario tasks best used for? Scenario tasks are best used for validating the realism of the task given to users. Also ensuring that the scenario guides users naturally without confusion. And also testing complete user journeys from the beginning of a task until the end. This helps us understand not just how users perform individual steps, but how they experience the system as a whole. In summary, scenario tasks help us create a realistic testing environment, improve user immersion, and evaluate the overall flow of the system. They are an essential tool when we want to assess real user behavior and full system interactions. Closed tasks are tasks that have a specific goal and clear, correct outcome. Participants are given direct and ambiguous instructions, which makes it easier to measure performance accurately. When do we use closed tasks in pilot testing? Closed tasks are used in pilot testing when we need to confirm that the success criteria are clear and measurable. This means we want to ensure that the task has a definite endpoint, so we can clearly determine whether the user completed it successfully or not. Second, we want to test if the task can be completed consistently across participants. If different users complete the task in the same way, it shows that the instruction and the interface are both clear. Third, we are preparing to measure time, error rate, or success rate in the real test. Closed tasks are ideal because they allow precise performance metrics to be collected during usability testing. Fourth, we want to verify that the interface supports a specific intended path. This helps us check whether users can follow the correct flow without getting confused or taking the wrong steps. What are closed tasks best used for? Closed tasks are best for checking if tasks are unambiguous, meaning users clearly understand what is being asked, and also ensuring that metrics can be captured accurately, such as task completion time and errors. Also validating task difficulty, helping researchers determine if a task is too easy, too hard, or appropriate for the usability study. In summary, closed tasks are essential in pilot testing because they help us assess clarity, consistency, and measurability. By using closed tasks, we can ensure that our usability evaluation will produce reliable and accurate results. Open-ended tasks are tasks that allows participants to explore the system freely without being guided toward one specific answer. Instead of having a single correct outcome, these tasks encourage users to decide on their own approach. When do we use open-ended tasks in pilot testing? Open-ended tasks are used when we want to see whether the prompt encourages natural exploration. This helps us determine if users feel comfortable navigating the system on their own. Second, we need to check if users interpret the task in multiple reasonable ways. Different approaches from users show how they understand the system and what they expect it to do. Third, we are preparing tests focused on behavioral insight, mental models, or user preferences. These tasks help us observe how users think, how they make decisions, and what features they naturally look for. Fourth, we want to ensure the task isn't too vague or confusing before the real test. Pilot testing helps us refine the instructions so that the open-ended task remains clear even if it is flexible. What are open-ended tasks best for? Open-ended tasks are best for validating natural exploration, being seeing how users navigate without strict guidance. Second, refining the clarity of the prompt. Make sure the task is open but still understandable. Third, preparing for studies that focus on user behavior, such as identifying user needs, habits, and decision-making patterns. In summary, open-ended tasks are useful when we want to observe genuine user behavior, understand their thought process, and refine instructions to avoid confusions. These tasks help us gather deeper insight that structured tasks might miss. That's all, and thank you.